What's good, YouTube? So, yeah, this is training log number 8, I believe, and I just want to talk about time, obviously, within the context of making games. I feel like I've talked about this a million times on my Instagram, which is JLifts62. If you're not familiar, which you probably won't be. But yeah, I feel like I've talked about this a million times, but I still think people undershoot their expectations of how long this is going to take. For anyone who has even slightly above average physique goals, it's going to take a lot longer than you think. Even if you do everything, quote unquote, perfectly from day one, you should still, I'd argue, you should at least double whatever time frame you have in your head for achieving your goal physique, if you have one. So, myself, I've technically been training for 10 years now. Now, all of those years weren't done very well. I trained on and off. I never really made it out of the novice phase until about 5 years ago. So yeah, this is kind of what I mean. It takes a very, very long time to see the results you may want to see. And anyone that you look up to in this sphere or space or industry, bear in mind that they have likely been obsessed with training since, they're a teenager, and now they're in their 30s, 40s, maybe 50s, and they've been training that entire time. That is what separates the truly advanced or impressive physiques, or strength athletes even. Like, that's not my wheelhouse, but it still applies, from the people who have been training for like 5 years. And then you have to consider genetics as well, because there is a huge genetic variance across naturals, right? You could, there is the potential that you've just drawn the genetic short straw, and you trained for 20 years and you've got a decent there is no way around it. You will have a good physique if you do that. But relative to what you're expecting, it may not be what you ideally wanted or expected. Or you could be on the other side of that and just blow up and surpass your wildest expectations and get, fake natty accusations a couple of years in. That is genuinely the range of, the gene pool for muscle building among naturals. So yeah, I guess kind of what I'm saying here is temper your expectations and just invest in the process. Enjoy the process, because that's the most fun part. And just do the best that you can And I promise at the end of that, or 10 years deep into that, you will be extremely pleased, regardless of all the factors I've just talked about. You will be extremely pleased with what you've achieved and what you still have left to achieve in the realm of muscle or strength building, whatever your jam is. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a ramble around genetics and natural potential and expectations and how long this takes. But the other thing that's worth mentioning is when you do dial things in and you find the right way to train for you, your gains will accelerate and you will make very fast progress relative to what you were making before. And you'll notice that once you're at quite an advanced level, like these small adjustments you make will have quite a big impact on your results. So like tiny tweaks to your training and nutrition will have a much larger impact than they would have done in the early phases, where you're probably using much larger brush strokes, not really knowing what you're doing. So it's all this kind of thing, like the granular detail can make a huge difference when you know what you're doing and you're at an advanced stage. So yeah, there's all that to consider, but generally the take-home message for this is just, if you love your training, focus on that and the results will come, You don't need to stress about it, and you will build something you're very pleased with if you just give it enough time. And that is, we're talking 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Just keep going. Just keep going. There's always another layer to peel, right? It's like the endless onion or the labyrinth. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say there. I don't even know if I made a particular point or if I just sort of threw a load of words at you, but there we go. So I'll just talk through the rest of these clips quickly, because why not? I don't tend to do that. So yeah, these pullovers are super sticky. They're the third chest exercise in the session, and I'm almost at the heaviest dumbbells. I mean, it's only like 5 or 6 rep sets, but yeah, they're not progressing at the moment, but that's fine. I'm not really expecting them to progress very quickly, given that they're the third chest lift, and yeah, it just makes sense, right? It's going to be slow. These were a little different. I tried to do like a hybrid hammer supination curl thing, just testing them out, but I didn't really like them, so I'm going to be running these, the reverse grip preachers, and the normal preachers, supinated preachers, both with fat grips. And yeah, that's just going to be my bicep work every session, bicep and forearm. We're cutting out the dumbbell hammer curls because they're just kind of, as much as I love them, and I really do love them, they're just sort of redundant when I'm already doing a preacher curl, which is like semi-supinated anyway, and then I'm doing reverse grip curls, which is also kind of semi-supinated and from a different position. So like all the musculature's covered. There's no reason to A-B a hammer curl on another session, So yeah, those are another 2 lifts that are just going to be repeated every session. This is going well. I think 9 reps here. I've matched this the last couple of sessions. Presses progress pretty slow. They're notoriously sticky, but yeah, that's fine by me. Especially vertical presses. Like, my shoulders are already overdeveloped, so I'm pretty chill with, whenever they want to progress, that's fine. Same with these. I'm still really enjoying them, and because shoulders aren't like a main priority, I don't feel the need to I have to do this particular lateral raise every session. If I don't want to, I'll just do whatever. But I am really enjoying those, so I'm just sort of hitting those every session at the moment. Yeah, what have we got? JM press. This is finally starting to move up, which is encouraging because it's still basically at the arse end of my session. I mean, yeah, this is literally the final lift because these clips are in sequential order. So yeah, considering they're the very last lift in the session, I've hit a few PRs on them in the last few sessions, so that's great. Yeah, that's kind of it. So thank you for listening to yet another ramble if you made it this far, and I'll see you for the next one.